Hi, everybody. This is Mike, and today we're going to cover the July position report. This is the last position report of the 25 crop season. And I think maybe to wrap up the season, we should start at the beginning a little bit. The 25 crop really started out with a pretty big head fake with the objective estimate of 3 billion pounds. The market saw a pretty steep decline in price in the July-August period. And it really, I believe, psychologically did not do any service to the industry at large. The first half of the season, sales and shipments were relatively sluggish, where buyers were buying very hand-to-mouth and sellers were basically playing into that as well. And really the story of the 25 crop really changed in the second half of the season. Basically, January through July, the industry has sold more pounds each month than we ever have for that time period, pretty much ever. And the relationship between the sales that were made every month and when those sales turned into shipments were more correlated in that period than it ever has been. And prices basically starting in March have continued to climb and haven't really cooled off since then. I think where the industry finds itself currently is with less inventory to sell right now than we have had in a long time. The uncommitted inventory at the end of July is about 248 million pounds, which is about 50 million pounds less than this time last year. And materially, it probably feels like it's less than that just given the quality of what's left to be sold in California. The demand dynamic really has not changed. California, I believe right now, is experiencing buying patterns and buying behavior wherein buyers are buying almonds to ship in August, buying them in August and shipping them in August. And I think the relative illusion of a early crop has also prompted buyers to look for new crop items in pretty untraditional time periods, like pollinators to ship in September. And now maybe that could still transpire, but at the moment, we don't materially see that as a possibility. So demand has been good. The 25 crop season, if we look at total shipments are almost flat. We're down about 0.5% compared to last year. The industry shipped just north of 2.6 billion pounds in the 12-month cycle. If we look a little bit deeper into those shipments, export shipments for the year ended up 3%. The domestic market ended the season down 11%. If we look at some of the export shipments, one of the biggest export markets that we ship to, or the biggest country that we ship to in the export market is India. India finished the year down 11%. I do not believe that is necessarily an issue with demand. I believe that was materially because California did not produce sufficient in-shell for India. You look at other export markets, the Middle East is up given all of the issues that they have experienced this season. Europe as a whole is up 5% in what is a really mature market. So I think 5% growth there is very positive. North Africa is up about 29 million pounds versus last year. And if you look at China and Southeast Asia as a whole, they're up about 5.5% to 6% for the season. So global export demand has grown in the 25 crop season, even given the fact that India is down 11%. I think the fact that India is down 11% is probably why the industry, for the first time in a long time, is seeing pretty robust demand for immediate shipments out of the 26 crop season. So as the industry moves forward, we believe the trend that we've experienced basically January through July will likely continue between now and bloom. And when I talk about that trend, I'm not necessarily talking about the trend of price. I'm talking about the trend of how buyers buy and how those purchases translate into shipments. So like I said at the beginning, the first half of the 25 crop season, sales and shipments were relatively lackluster. And I believe that the first half of the 26 crop season will look materially different than the first half of the 25 crop season. So to maybe wrap up the 25 crop July position report, sales for the month were 80 million pounds on the 25 crop side, and about 154 million pounds were sold on the 26 crop. The total 26 crop sales at the moment are about 302 million pounds. It's about a 6% increase in new crop sales compared to the same time period last year. The expected carryout is 449 million pounds. That is likely going to be revised lower in the August position report, given more loss and exempt than they're estimating as of now. So again, the 25 crop was one that experienced quite a bit of volatility, as well as a lot of resiliency within the supply chain globally. And I think that gives us at least a optimistic view on what the future looks like for the 26 crop season. And as prices continue to change, which they will, we will continue to keep you updated. Thank you. This has been Mike.